Hi, today's video is all about gel nails, something I haven't done for a very long time, and I'm hoping you will learn from some of the mistakes that I made when trying to remember how to do this properly and effectively. I started off by removing the nails that you saw in the beginning of the video. They were acrylic, so I did a full soak off, as this is going to be a hard gel set. I then pushed back the cuticles and came in with my cuticle bit on my e-file and just removed all the non-living tissue from the nail plate. What I like about the particular bit that I'm using is I find I don't often need to switch bits. If I see a little piece of hard skin on the side of the finger, it works quite well for that because it's got a rounded portion as well as a point. You do need to go back in and do the proximal fold. However, that also very much depends on how much work needs to be done on the cuticles. As you can see, my model is very active with her hands. These hands see a lot of work, and therefore the cuticles needed quite a bit of work. She's a hairdresser, she's a hairdresser, so that's what the discoloration and staining is that you see. And I also think that it has a lot to do with the amount of dry skin and hardness to the skin that you see, since her hands are in chemicals a lot. Before she came in, she'd broken this nail and chipped her thumbnail on the same hand. However, she likes a natural nail overlay as much as possible and didn't want all her nails to be as short as the broken one. So I'm applying a form, making sure that it fits nicely under the edge of the free edge, the very tip part of the free edge. And I did the same thing on the thumb. Here I'm applying the Light Elegance tack, and after I cured it, I came in with my base layer of Extreme from the Lexi line, and I spent a bit of time scrubbing it in, which is not really necessary because I used tack. However, that is the way I was taught to do gel nails, and I just feel better about it scrubbing my base layer in before I start building the nail structure and strength. Here I am just using a bit of the builder gel, as it moves a bit less than the extreme, to bring out those free edges that needed fixing. So first the thumb and then the ring finger, and I'm just pulling that gel out to the desired length and shaping it to her fingernail. As you'll notice, I haven't gone for a specific nail shape here. What she wanted was a natural looking nail with a bit of art. She really wanted to try having lighter nails. Since typically she only does dark nails because of all the hair dye and stuff that gets stuck on them. But she had a party to go to, and the theme was white and something, I can't remember what, but I do remember that it was white, and so she really wanted a bit of white on her nails as well. So once I'm happy with my build, you'll see I gave her hand a double tap there to indicate it's time to pop it in the light and give me your other hand. And the more you work with a customer or a client and you've trained them, the easier it gets, because little things like that, it doesn't have to stop the flow of a conversation. You can just give them a double tap and they realize, okay, it's time to move this hand and give you the next hand, which was very useful because we were having a nice chat. Here I'm just building up the strength and structure of the nail. Doesn't need to be very thick, just giving her a little bit of an apex there. And once I was happy, I cured all the nails, and I'm coming in with my file just to refine that shape. I chose to hand file for two reasons. Number one, this is the first time in years that I have worked on another person, and I was very nervous and apprehensive with my e-file. Secondly, it wasn't a lot of filing work to do, so I just quickly did it by hand. Aside from the cuticle work, of course, I just made sure that I got that perfect with my e-file, since it's a lot easier than trying to get in with a hand file. Here I am applying Your Churn, which is a ButterCream by Light Elegance, and I applied that to all the fingers except two, and on the other two fingers I am applying Frenching, which is also a Light Elegance ButterCream that has a white base with a little bit of a bling. I did 2 layers of each, and then I came in with my before I did that, I took Frenching and just did a fade, a very rough fade up the pink nails, and then came in with my Young Nails Diamond Dust glitter, as well as Profiles Backstage Superstar, and just use those 3 products, glitters, and just faded it up about 2/3 up the nail, just adding a little bit of sparkle and a little bit of touch of white that she was looking for to the other nails. I did the same thing over the Frenching, the full cover Frenching nails, and once I was happy with all of that and it was cured into place, I then came in with a layer of One Step to just level out all that glitter, get rid of the roughness that you get from adding a loose glitter onto a nail. And up until this point, aside from the amount of time that it had taken me to do everything, I was pretty happy with these nails. They weren't too thick, they were looking pretty good. While her nails had been soaking off, she'd selected this butterfly foil from my foil collection, and we chose the ones we were going to put on her nails. I then came in with a bit of the Young Nails foil glue, and once that had dried, I started applying the butterflies to the nail. So here's my first mistake. I should have buffed these nails before I applied the foils. They didn't have as smooth a surface area as what I would have liked to stick, and therefore they did not stick as well as what they should have. However, I didn't realize it at the time, and I was nervous and stressing about time and all the things that we as nail techs do, and I let it get into my head, and I did not think this process through properly. All I was thinking was, it will stick fine, and I can just add another layer of cool gel and it will smooth everything out and everything will be fine. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work as well as what I had intended, and some of the butterflies were not quite as, how shall I say it, whole, detailed, flawless, you choose, as what I would have liked them to be. But we carried on, and once all the foils were stuck down and positioned, I came in with another layer of cool gel, as I said before, as I'd planned, and attempted to smooth the nails out like that. I then removed the dispersion layer with Ali Pro Cleanser, and while I was doing that, I realized these nails are really too rough for my liking. It's not going to give me the finished look that I'm looking for, and once again, instead of coming in with a buffer, I came in with my hand file and attempted to perfect the shape like that. Again, I wasn't thinking this through properly, and the thought in my head was, if I buff this too much, my top coat isn't going to stick as well as I'd like. It's better to do it with a file. However, anyone that has ever filed acrylic and switched to gel knows that gel files a lot easier and is a lot softer than acrylic. And in my rush to speed up, as well as just not thinking it through properly, I did manage to further mutilate a few of my butterflies by filing off some of their wings, which is not something I was very proud of. But you live and learn, I suppose. And since it had taken this long already, and my poor model had other things to get to, we decided that they didn't look too bad and we would just leave them as is. However, if I had to do this again, I would build the nails, add the color, the glitter, do my one step, buff them nice and smooth to the point that I was happy with, add my butterflies, and then seal them in with a top coat. I think the final effect would have been a lot better. Again, you live and learn, and for my first time in years using gel, I don't think it went too badly. I then went under her nails and just removed some of the hair dye staining and any little pieces of gel that might be sticking over the edge from when I built the nails out, and just neaten them up, because if you go into all this effort, not only do you want the top to look nice, but the whole nail needs to look nice underneath, on top, the sides. It's all important to give you a nice finished look. Once I was happy with that, I gave the nails a really good scrubbing clean, making sure that all the dust and any oils, everything was removed. And I came in with Young Nails stain resistant. This is something I've seen advertised quite a lot for hairdressers, so I'm interested to see how it will hold up, and I'm looking forward to her feedback on that. It was quite something to do nails on somebody else after 3 years on an actual human instead of a a practice hand or tips, or myself. And I can't even remember when last I did gels on anyone's hands. So it was a learning curve that I'm glad I went through. I hope you've learned something along with me. All the products I've used are listed below in the description box. Please leave me a like if you enjoyed the video, and a comment. I'd love to know what you think. Have a fabulous day. Cheers.